everybody, I'm Manny. Welcome back to my channel, SoCal Shave. So we're gonna get into another shaving video, and I'm gonna call this part 2 of my travel Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements shaving scuttle, or I'm sorry, from Crown King, tomatoes. There was some things that I left out that I thought was important in the other shave video. If you guys haven't seen that now, go head on over and check that out. But I really wanted to explain a little bit more, go into a little bit more details on what I was trying to explain in that last video. I didn't post it up yet, so as of right now, you're watching this video, it's probably just now posted because I wanted to have them back to back, so that way you guys can capture just a little bit of what I was saying before you guys got that explanation on that video and didn't really understand what I'm getting at. So that way, if you see that, you can see that there's a part 2 to this. I wasn't going to do a part 2, but I felt that it was necessary because I didn't want to delete the video. I wanted to post it up because I did do a review on it, and I felt it was fair, but there was some stuff I really wanted to mention. So without further ado, I do have hot water. I had hot water in the scuttle, and I also have some here, if you can see that, just to keep the scuttle warm. And I will be using the Phoenix DOC today. I haven't used this in a while. It is a fairly mild razor for me. There you go, the little emblem on the bottom. Which is the reason why I don't use it very much, but because I want to do a 2-pass shave here today, I really don't need a much more efficient razor than that. And we'll be using the Personna Lab Blues again in the plastic 5-pack tuck with a blade bank in the back. And I will be using Cold Spice for the first time here with you guys. I'll be sharing this here with you. And this is what the soap looks like. Almost a brownish beige tint to it. And here are the ingredient list, or here is the ingredient list. There you go. And I will be using my Omega boar brush, my professional, and I will explain why I'm using this here today. And after the shave, I will be following it with the Thayer's Lavender Witch Hazel. And of course, be using the matching aftershave. And I will pair it up with my neutral scent that I love to use, Nivea Sensitive, or Nivea Man Sensitive. So let me get this blade loaded up in the razor. There you go. And I've never used this blade in this razor before. Matter of fact, there's a lot of blades I haven't used in this razor before because it's not a really go-to razor that I use fairly often, or not often at all, actually. Like I said, it's a pretty mild shaver for me, so I don't really go to it often. But since I've been doing these 2-pass shaves, I figured, hey, that might be something interesting to start using here, since I'm doing training my face to do day-to-day shaves. All right, so let me start loading. Oh, I don't know if I bumped the camera. I believe I did. Let me start loading my brush. All right, so I decided to do this part 2 because I had explained in the last video that if I had anything to add to, or any consideration or any information on reviewing that or this Scuttle was that's nice and loaded. Let's load a little bit more. All right. Yeah, so I said if I had anything else I would actually add to that review, was I found myself, I'm just removing everything off the puck here, putting it into the Scuttle. I found myself pressing down a little harder on the knot as I was loading, because it almost felt like I was explaining to a couple of people that led me to want to do this part 2. I found myself pressing down on the brush a little more than I'd like to, and I feel that that might damage knots, you know. Yeah, you can be a little bit more gentle. I get that, I do understand that. Sorry guys, I'm just rinsing off my puck. But I feel if there could be some changes made, smells great, guys. It does smell like Old Spice. If there could be some changes made, it would be nice to have the I already have the lather that I just picked out. I think it would be best, let me use my comb here, if the bottom here would be raised just a little higher. So for it not to be too low, I guess bring it up a little bit more this way to give us more surface area to lather in. Because what I found when I was using my brush was, I have an example here. I was pressing down too hard on the knot, and you don't want to splay the knot out, you know, because as it's bunching up like this and you're trying to splay it, there's a possibility you might damage the knot. Now I did this here just for an example, and it might be a little over exaggerated. I get it, I understand, but I'm trying to explain something here. Picture this as a funnel, and this is the bowl. The lower you go into the Scuttle, the tighter that knot's gonna get. So if it's up this way here, you can lather. There's perfect amount of space to lather. But as you go further down into the knot, or further down into the bowl, your brush is gonna get tighter, and you're gonna be trying to do this. That's what I found with that, with the Scuttle. And I'm not saying the Scuttle doesn't look like this, but as it comes down, because the way the Scuttle is shaped, that's what I felt like. It felt literally like if I was doing this, and the lower I got, the tighter the knot was getting. If you get what I'm saying, hopefully you guys understand. And the reason why I chose that brush, because I noticed there might be a chance if I used a taller brush where I didn't have to press down too hard. Say if I were to use something like this here, there might be a little bit of difference. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I'm gonna try that here today with the Omega, since it is a taller loft brush. So we'll see how that goes. So hopefully I didn't bore you guys there. So that was just what I was trying to explain on the last shave, and it didn't come out just properly. So I figured, you know what, if I can do, and you know what, exactly what I explained is exactly what's happening. It's working just a whole lot better now. There you go. Because I found the wider the knot, the more issue I had, and the lower the loft. Basically, the wider the loft, the wider the knot, the lower the loft. I was having issues. And this is a smaller knot. I believe it's like a 24 millimeter, but the loft is quite high. There's a whole lot more brush there, or a lot more hair there, and the handle itself is pretty wide, or pretty tall, so that will give me an easier way to lather. And you know what, guys, this is actually working quite nice. So I would recommend using a 24 millimeter knot, and a whole lot more longer knot or a higher loft. So this is actually working quite well. I'm actually impressed. I really am. So hopefully you guys understood and didn't think it was too over exaggerated. But yeah, I felt that, you know what, I didn't want to post that video just quite yet. I almost did. Luckily I didn't, because you know what, I really wanted to do this part 2. And this is working quite nice because my fingers aren't full of lather like the last time. So, and the last knot I used, it was a 24 millimeter too, but it just felt different. It felt like I was putting too much pressure on it. And now that this one feels the way it does, I can understand what I was explaining, what's gonna work. So that's great. And it's just building all kinds of nice lather. This is great. Yeah, I can't even show you properly because the lather's all over the place, and it looks nice, creamy, and wet, which is good. And that's done. All right, guys. Let me go ahead and wet my face. I got out of the shower about an hour or so ago. I had breakfast, a great breakfast at that, thanks to the wife, Mrs. SoCal Shave. Yeah, so I am a bit full. Wanted to have breakfast first before I did a shave. And yeah, so I'm gonna do a shave here. And let's go. You can use just a little bit more water. We've got lather flying all over the place. That tells us that we're done. And many of you guys know that this, put that down back in the bowl. That this knot is, or this brush is one of my favorites, and it is quite broken in. It's got a whole lot of split ends, which is great. I love that brush. In the very beginning, it was one of my workhorses, and can't wait to go back to it. All right, so first pass with the green. Yeah, so don't get me wrong about the Scuttle, because it is a nice design, and I can only understand and pick and I can understand the concept and the idea behind it. You know, small equals travel, which is great. And in the last video, I said I couldn't wait to try it in the summertime. I can't wait to try it in the winter. I can't wait to try it in the winter, guys, not in the summertime. Yeah, and I already had posted up the video and noticed it afterward when I went back and reviewed it. And I had missed that. Because normally I always review my videos before I post them or before I edit them. And that one got by me. Yeah, so the concept and the idea, if you will, I get it. So there's nothing wrong with the Scuttle. The only thing I could say is that if possible, raise the bottom of that Scuttle a little bit so we're not pushing down quite as hard on some of the knots. But as you just saw now, it worked just fine with a bigger loft, higher loft, and a longer handle. All right, guys, that's first pass down. I'll rinse off and be back for pass 2. All right, guys, back for pass 2. I'm just mixing it up a little bit. All right. Yeah, warm leather feels good. Sorry about that, guys. I had an important phone call come through. My brother's car broke down. Or my brother's future brother-in-law's car broke down. So I have to reinvigorate this lather. All right, so enough about the Scuttle. The scent, Douglas, you're the man. That is a great scent. A great scent, my friend. All right, second pass across the grain. And let me tell you, the cooling sensation on this soap is nice. It's not too overpowering, but it is nice, and it is just the amount, just the right amount of menthol. And yes, it does smell like Old Spice. Yeah, this has just a perfect amount of menthol. And I love menthol regardless. But for someone who doesn't like menthol, I think this would be perfect. Because it's not too strong and it's not too mild. It's just perfect. Alright guys, that's my second pass. I'm going to rinse off and I'll be back for the rest of the post. Alright guys, just finished up. Got some soap on my shirt. Rinsing off with warm water, cold water. Gonna go in with the alum now. All right. So let me just let this sit on my face. I'll rinse off my gear and I'll be back for the rest of the post. All right, guys. That feels really good. Wow. That feels really good, guys. All right. So now we're gonna follow it with the Thayer's Lavender Witch Hazel. Yeah, that razor is gonna be a good one for 2-pass shaves, 2-pass with the cleanup. That'll be a good one. Yeah, so that soap, wow, was fantastic. Exactly what I expected, if not a whole lot better than I expected. Yeah, like I said, my brother has got vintage 2 bottles, the decanters, glass decanters of vintage Old Spice, and it smells great. It smells pretty damn close. All right, here you go. Matching aftershave. Get a nice healthy dose of that. That smells great. That smells really good, guys. All right, here comes a little bit of burn. That's from the menthol because it doesn't feel like a regular alcohol, if you will. Waiting for the menthol to kick in. All right, here it comes. That smells good, guys. Douglas, good job, brother. Good job. Nivea Man Sensitive. I'm almost out of this. I have a backup already. Yup. I'm telling you, what a great neutral scent. Smells great. Smells really good, guys. All right. Brush this through. All right. So, little recap. The Phoenix or Crown King, you can see there. Or there. Or is it upside down? There we go. The Crown King Travel Scuttle. Great idea. I really enjoyed that. Especially now using a different brush. So that was a good one. Went with, give me a second, guys. Had my razor in the barber side. I like to put them in there to clean them out. With the Phoenix Dot or double open comb. This is the nickel plated version. And there you have it. What a beautiful razor. I love it. But it is too mild for me, but you know what? It worked really well with these 2-pass shaves. So I will be using that more in the future. Went with my Omega Professional. There you have it. With the tall lofted bore knot. And there are all the split end bristles. Love this brush. One of my workhorses. Then followed up with the Lavender Witch Hazel. The matching Aftershave Cold Spice. And Nivea Men Sensitive. So guys, that's my shave. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the part 2, but there was stuff I really wanted to explain. And yeah, so it's not a bad product, guys. It's a really good one. So thank you, Douglas. I just wanted to explain some stuff out there. And hopefully, don't know if my opinion will matter or not. We can get that rise up just a little bit higher. But with that brush, it actually worked just fine. So we'll see how it goes in the future. So if you see this, Douglas, please put a comment down below or message me on Messenger, however you will. And so thanks for joining me, guys. If you like what you see, please like, favorite, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon down at the bottom. And you'll get my next future notification whenever my new videos come out. So that way you guys don't miss anything. So with that said, please stay safe out there. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Later, guys.